It was the first day of the month. I was alone in my house, resting on my bed. As I slept, 2 men, larger than any I had ever seen, appeared at the foot of my bed. Their faces glowed like the sun, and fire seemed to emanate from their lips. They were clothed in vibrant purple robes and had wings brighter than gold. I awoke with a start, my heart pounding. The men called me by name and told me I was to ascend to heaven. I was terrified but obeyed. They instructed me to inform my sons of my departure. The angels then carried me to the first heaven, where I saw a vast sea and celestial beings who govern the stars. They showed me the treasure houses of the heavens and the angels who guard them. The angels continued to guide me through the heavens. We ascended to the second heaven, a place of profound darkness. Here, I saw prisoners hanging, awaiting judgment. These angels were darker than any I had seen on earth and wept incessantly. I asked my guides why these beings were suffering. They explained that they were God's apostates who had disobeyed his commands and followed their own will. Their prince was also imprisoned in the 5th heaven. We then ascended to the 3rd heaven, a place of extraordinary beauty. There were sweet-smelling trees and abundant fragrant food. In the center of this paradise was the tree of life, where the Lord rests when he ascends to paradise. This tree was indescribably beautiful and adorned with gold, vermilion, and fire. Its roots extended to the earth's end, and it produced all kinds of fruits. From the 3rd heaven, we descended to the paradise of Eden, a place of beauty and abundance. Rivers flowed with honey, milk, oil, and wine, nourishing the land. Every tree in this paradise was fruitful, and the garden was guarded by 300 angels who sang praises to the Lord ceaselessly. We then ascended to the 4th heaven, a place of darkness and torment. There was a fiery river, and the entire place was consumed by fire, frost, and ice. The angels who guarded this place were cruel and merciless, wielding weapons of torture. I asked my guides why this place existed. They explained that it was prepared for those who dishonored God and committed sins against nature such as child corruption, magic, witchcraft, theft, lies, murder, and idolatry. We ascended to the 4th heaven, where I witnessed the movements of the sun and moon. I measured their journeys and compared their light, finding the sun's light to be greater. The sun's passage is accompanied by 8,000 stars, and it is attended by countless angels. In the 5th heaven, I encountered soldiers called Grigori. They were larger than giants, their faces withered, and their mouths were silent. I asked my guides why they were in such a state. They explained that the Grigori, along with their prince Satan, had rejected the Lord of Light. 3 of them had descended to earth, taken human wives, and corrupted the earth. As a result, they were now suffering in this place of darkness. 3 of the Grigori descended to earth, broke their vows, and took human wives. This led to the birth of giants and great enmity on earth. God judged them harshly for their actions. We ascended to the 6th heaven, where I saw 7 bands of glorious angels. Their faces shone brighter than the sun, and they were all identical in appearance. These angels were responsible for the order of the heavens, the movements of the celestial bodies, and the governance of the world. When they saw evil, they would issue commands and sing praises to the Lord. In the 6th heaven, I also encountered archangels who oversee all life in heaven and on earth. There were angels appointed over seasons, rivers, seas, fruits, and even every blade of grass. Angels also recorded the souls of men and their deeds. If the video was enjoyable up to this point, give me energy and support me with your like. Among these celestial beings were 6 phoenixes, 6 cherubim, and 6 six-winged creatures who sang praises to the Lord ceaselessly. Their singing was indescribable. We then ascended to the 7th heaven, a place of immense light. There I saw fiery troops of archangels, including cherubim, seraphim, thrones, and many-eyed ones. I was filled with fear, but my guides reassured me and showed me the Lord from afar. The Lord sat on his throne in the 10th heaven, which is called Aravat in Hebrew. Heavenly troops would ascend the 10 steps leading to his throne, bow down before him, and then return to their places, singing praises in the boundless light. I also saw the 8th heaven, which is called Muth in Hebrew. Mut, the 8th heaven, controls the seasons of drought and wet. Above it is the 9th heaven, Kavim, where the heavenly homes of the 12 constellations reside. Finally, I reached the 10th heaven, Aravat, where I saw the Lord's face. His face was radiant and terrifying, like iron glowing in fire. The Lord's face was indescribable, and I could not comprehend his being or his glory. His throne was immense, and countless angels surrounded him, singing praises ceaselessly. I was overwhelmed by his majesty and fell down before him. The Lord spoke to me, saying, "Have courage, Enoch, do not fear." The Lord commanded me to arise and stand before him. The archangel Michael lifted me up, and I stood before the Lord. He asked his servants to allow me to remain in his presence forever. The glorious ones agreed, and the Lord commanded Michael to take me out of my earthly garments and anoint me with his sweet ointment. Michael did as he was commanded, and I was clothed in the garments of glory. The ointment was radiant and sweet-smelling, and I looked like one of the Lord's glorious ones.